I see minnows flying around up here. They're small fish, whatever they are. Minnows, shad, little bluegills, shiners. Could be anything. That sun's taking effect now. There's some bigger clouds. It's going to take them a long time to block that sun though. And when these fish are aggressive though, they're gonna hit. Up in this hole here, I mean, I have a little crankbait that I like to use in the river. Looks like a perch, which is pretty rare to get in the rapids, but fish seem to like it. But it's really easy to lose a lure in the river because of the current. It ends up getting snagged. But I've just floated it on top over here, and they just see the bottom of it and they smack it. Could just be the right color. This is getting hard to fish facing the sun like this. Need to get some more water. Down to about half a bottle. It's weird, it looks like the current kind of picked up in this hole here. I don't know where the water could be coming from. That's the thing though, if you get, depending on where it rains, I mean if it rains up north and the water will just start coming down and it'll raise that water level up for you, even if it doesn't rain by you. You know, it's better because if it rains by you, it's just going to go in the river, then it's going to get washed further down. But if it rains up further north, then that water is going to come down to you. And both is the optimum. Looks like one of the clouds missed the sun up there. There we go. He took off. No, it's just a little guy. I couldn't figure out where it went because it was so small. It was just kind of flying around. Oh, it's a white bass. Just barely hooked. Little white bass. I didn't even get a picture of him. He fell on the platform here. Hopefully he figures out how to get back into the main water. I think there might be even a hole that they can get through down in here. But he'll figure it out. He was in the area of the little triangle up here. So it looks like a bunch of little fish are around. But I mean, if this place has been getting fished a lot, then either the big fish they're going to be taking, or once they get caught a couple of times, they just rise up. I can pretty much catch any size fish on a jig like this thing. Pretty much any size fish will hit this thing. Or any kind of jig that looks like a minnow like that will work. Like a rubber one or a twister tail. I've gotten pretty much every kind of fish on this thing. We got that little cloud for a minute, and then that cloud's going to be gone. At least we're getting some fish though in that long layoff. I'm not the kind of person that gets all too concerned about size, because I've caught big fish in the river for years and years. You just fish where you want to fish, and what's there, pretty much what is there, you know. It's not like, oh, this spot's got big bass or whatever. It's pretty much, it could be anywhere, like I said. It's not like a pond, where you probably have specific areas where there's going to be bigger fish, depending on the depth and stuff, to find the good spots, because it's always the same, but the river is moving water, so it's moving fish. The fish don't sit around in their, they're moving around. Where the bait fish go. Trying to take it easy casting on this arm here. Is that a snag? Yeah. Because I like casting out into that slow area and then pulling it into the fast water, and it can kind of trigger something and think that they got to chase it. Oh, now we got a cormorant up here, a fishing bird. It'd be interesting to see if he gets anything. He landed right in that slow area. He just went down. No telling where I think he'll come back up though. Oh, he came right back up. He's moving his mouth like he got something. Let's watch him for a second. See where he comes. Oh, see, he came up like way further down there. They just kind of swim around down there and search. Yeah, see, now he came up even further down, higher up in the water. It's kind of hard to see now. He's still in that area. He came right up in that area. Maybe he saw something. This will kind of give us a break in the action here. Here now he's even further down. Now we got some clouds coming over. He's just going across here. Oh, he got one. He got one way up high over there. He snagged something. That wasn't enough because he went back down. Because if he found one, that means there could be more there. He's going way up high into that white water. All the way, almost all the way up to the spillway. Because that's pretty much what the fish do. They swim as high as they can. I did not see him come back up. There he is. He's in that same area, so he may have found a good spot. We'll try to learn from him. And he's even further down now, heading towards the other side. Oh, I got weeds on here, big giant weeds. He got another one, way up high. He had to put his head up in order to get the thing down, so it must have been like one like the size of his head probably. I don't know if they can actually see under the water when they're looking around up on top, if they see something when they dive. He's kind of sticking in that area though. Let's try doing what he's doing into that little, this slow area out here. But we can't stay up like he does, because we get pushed down. Pretty much staying in that area though. mean, he looks like he's looking around when he's above the water. Now he dried his wings a little bit. He's staying in that area though. He likes that area. It's found a good spot. There we go. That's something. It went down. It went out into the hard water. Just. You never know if you got a good hookup with this when you fish like this though, when you're just hanging it in there. That's the tough thing about fishing like this. You just gotta hope you got a good hook set when they just snatch it up and go, because you can't really control the slack in your line. There he is. Now the little guy, he's got a bite mark in him, like something tried to eat him. Maybe a catfish or something. He needs to get bigger. So he doesn't get eaten. So it just looks like there's kind of a fish that comes up in here every so often. See how much battery I've got left here. This battery's doing pretty well. This thing's never overheated either. And I've been out when it's been pretty hot. So that's one thing it pretty much has over a GoPro. Of course, there's a lot more going on probably in the GoPro that makes it heat up. I've been standing up here all this time. Maybe I should try going below to a different angle, but I haven't really done all that well doing that this year, because this gives you a lot more options up here. no weeds, just a bunch of foam. See if anything's hanging out on this edge here. Because they really like the action of it swimming around along this edge here. And that sun's hitting me right in the right side of my face. Oh, luckily we got a big cloud. I just heard a big thump in the water. I don't know what that was. You hear that sometimes. Try this little pocket right here. Oh, how did we lose that cloud already? I just had something grab it. Maybe grab the tail. Our cloud's got like a little divot in it. I just saw something try to jump up this little waterfall here. Oh, look, yeah, there's another fish. Just trying to jump up that waterfall right there. Because that's what they try to do. They just keep trying to go upstream. And that's why the fish get hung up at these spillways. They chase the minnows upstream, and the minnows get trapped. So then they've pretty much got a piece. But they had something hit it right there when it hit the water. But they're just not, maybe they're not big enough. They're just getting the tail. Or they're just not aggressive enough. Got a nice cloud here. I got one guy over there that's been throwing a casting net pretty much the entire time I've been here. That's another thing that happens too. When they start throwing them casting nets in here, taking all the bait fish, the want to sit there and take all the bait fish, because then why are the fish going to come up here? Man, I don't know if that was something, or maybe like a branch or something I just hooked onto. I don't know, maybe these fish are just not that aggressive right now. I mean, I'm moving pretty slow, give them every chance in the world to hit this thing. Oh man, we just had I don't know if I got that on camera. Looked like a bluegill just went flying like two feet in the air, trying to get up this little waterfall here. I don't know if something was chasing it or what. Dropping in there, sometimes I just like hit something immediately.